Okay, let's start with the question. Why the poster? I think that's the question he asked.
Yes.
Okay. So can I start again?
Yes.
Okay. I said we're living in a time when the society has changed dramatically. We're living in a time when the society has changed dramatically in a very short time. Because of the onset of the internet and because of the exposure to media, without any barriers, our young children are being exposed to very interesting concepts at ages that their parents have no idea about. There was a recent Kenya AIDS indicator survey. I think we talked about it in the media. The government actually funded that survey, and it found that the age of first experience of sex for young children, teens, is between the age of 10 to 15. I don't know if you have a sibling or a friend, a nephew or a niece who's that age. That's scary. I have a daughter who's that age. That's very scary for parents. Now the problem is, many people are in denial of these facts. We think that the kids are still where we left them. We drop them at the mall, we think they're doing what we used to do when us guys were dropped in a shopping center. It's not the same. Kids are exposed to incredible... In fact, I was talking about the fact that we have mobile phones today. With these mobile phones, you've given your child a portal. It's like giving them a key to enter into any vault of pornography and pull it out for themselves. So one of the things that we are committed to is not to be shy about relationships, not to be shy about sex, not to be shy about money. Even the language that we use, we want to use we want to connect with the teens using the language that they're using, because this is the language they're using. These are the songs they're using as reference points. But we always start with where people are in culture, and we move them to where God wants them to be. So one of the people in social media said, in my church we used to be taught the 10 commandments. Nobody used to talk about bloodlines. I said, maybe that's where the problem in our culture today, because if we're talking to young people, thou shalt not, and we're not acknowledging where they are, how do we hope that they'll ever change?
I was saying that, being culturally relevant is something that's very important, first of all, to me as a person. I know it's important to Mavuno as a church, but, to me as a person as well. I think one of the things that you find is, the state in which the world finds itself today is one where, there's just been a moral decadence over the years, where things that maybe were completely not acceptable 10 years ago are now the commonplace. And even when you look at sexuality, things that were were taboo 10 years ago when I was growing, 20 years ago when I was growing up, now it's stuff that is is normal, and I think the fact that Mavuno is stepping out and addressing these issues head on, I think is something that's not just commendable, but something that's necessary.